Hello friends and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we will understand how to clean the text data. Okay, and so what happens that when we import a data set there are some fields that might have a text data in it. So so how to clean that text data, because these kind of text data will have a lot of values which you don't want. You want to remove it, or either you want to replace it, or you want to basically you know uh, clean up that value so that you can use it in the later part of pre-processing. So this method, this cleaning can be done with the pandas uh, S, str accessor, which is basically a dot string accessor, and it has many methods which can be used to clean the data. I will be explaining you some of the very important and the most used method so that you can um, you can get the job done easily. And for if you need more information, you can go to pandas documentation and read about it in detail. So so I will importing the pandas and numpy as pd and np respectively. Now I'm importing the Titanic dataset. I am using the Titanic dataset because it's a very familiar dataset, and it has all kinds of data types to work with. So I have imported the pandas, and as you can see, it has a passenger ID, survived P class, name of the passenger, tickets, fare, etc., etc. Now, the first thing that we need to do is uh, basically we need to understand that string accessor, it it can be accessed by using .str method. So you have to give your variable name on which you want to perform the string method, and then you give .str, and then dot after that the name of the function. So as I told you, there are many more functions in it. So let me uh, just show you uh, what are the str methods. So if you go here, okay, so it's a basically series method. Okay, so you can see the pandas string methods are there. uh, to list series.str, I need to find out. Or maybe this is not the current link. uh, Okay, so this you can see this is the string method. So there are many methods like concatenation, etc., etc., and that you can see. These are basically all series methods. So you have to you just give the variable name in terms of series and .str, and after that you can give the various method that, for example, lower, upper, length, etc., etc. Okay, so so and the other thing that you need to understand, that is very obvious, that it will not work on the numerical variable. So if I do it on the, for example, the same str methods on the p class, so it will give me an error like can only use .str accessor with the string value. So the your variable will be will be a string variable to basically work on this. So now we'll start with, so the first thing when you are working with the text data is that you first thing that you should do, you should convert it into all lower formats. Because what happens that when you are replacing certain value in the string, so it will remove the problem of case, because you will be for example, if you are replacing some value, then you give it in a string format, so that is case sensitive. uh, so if you do it str.layer, it will remove it. So I am doing. str dot lower, and if I check my data set, it is all in the small letters, so it's all in the lower format. Same way you can do it in the dot upper, so it will convert it into the uppercase. Now another good practice is to do uh, .str.strip. So str.strip is basically remove the blank spaces from the front and the end of the string. So so you to uh, it helps you to basically you will not have the problem of uh, you know replacing the text which has the you know which has the white spaces in front of it. So that problem you can basically remove it with the strip methods. Okay. Now, what if I want to, for example, so now it is the strip is done. Then now we will go about the cleaning the text. So, for example, what happens that if I want to, replace my string, uh, so I want to check all the strings that is in the name column. Okay. And if I found a mister in it, I want to replace it with X. And rejects I am giving is equal to false because I want a exact match of Mr. Mr. dot. If you don't give rejects, if you keep the rejects is equal to true, that we will see it later. Later, it will find a pattern of Mr. and then it will replace it. But rejects is equal to false. It means that it will do a exact match. Like if it finds a exact match mr dot, then only it will replace with X. Otherwise, it will not. So let's see it. Okay. So if you can see here, sorry, it should be name one. If you can see here, it is replace Brond. It is replaced with X. So Brond, it's come here. It is replaced with red, but it has not replaced the Mrs. Cunnings here because it is just looking for the exact match of MR dot. Now, what happens if we do it rejects is equal to false? If you do rejects is equal to false, in that case, it will look for a pattern of MR and dot, and then it will replace it whenever it finds files a. Uh, so I should do here rejects is equal to true. Okay, so yes. So what it does is that when it finds the rejects is equal true, it will find a pattern of Mr. MR and dot, and then it will replace it. So here you can see I can look for some pattern match and replace it. Here it looks for the exact pattern. So if I run it here, I run to main 2. If you see here, so it has replaced it uh, here also because here it was Mr. MR dot, but here it has also replaced it because it is not looking for exact match. It is looking for some kind of match. So if you can see here, it is MR is also here and dot is also here. So it has made it as X dot. So it's looking so it's not looking for exact match here. But rejects is equal to false. It looks for exact match. Now here, if you want to replace many values, you can just give it as a pipe. So I'm giving here df name 3, df name, then replace comma with a blank, with a basically a single space, and then replace uh, okay, I'm giving here the replace the opening bracket, then replace it with the blank space, and then the closing bracket, and then replace it with the blank space. So as you can see here, I have not written a three separate lines of code for it. I have just piped it. So dot str dot replace, then again dot str dot replace, then dot str and dot replace. Okay, so that way this also you can do it. So if you can see here, it has a comma here, so that sorry, the opening bracket here, so that opening bracket is gone. There is a comma here, so this comma here, it's gone, so everything get replaced. Here again, I am taking some another example. So I'm taking the ticket column. So if you can see the ticket here, ticket column has a somewhere there a slash on it. So I will just want to replace slash and then replacing dot with a blank space here. So again, here I have used the piping here, as you can see. So I'll run it. Okay, if you see here, so it is all completely cleaned of slash and dots. So if you can see here, dot was here, so that must have got replaced. So if you can see here, the dot is got replaced. Okay, so that is the one thing. Other thing is that other important function is that um, like what happens if you want to keep only the numbers or you want to keep only the alphabets in it, because what happens is sometimes you get a column which has both numbers uh, and alphabets, and you required to keep either only the number or the alphabets. So in that case you can use the regex is equal to true here, and then you give this thing. So in invert it in so in single quotes you can give this bracket. Okay, this this is square brackets, and within that is square brackets you can give this this thing. I don't know what it means, but you can give this thing and then you write 0 to 9. So it means that keep only the numbers, nothing else. So it will delete everything with uh, except from except these numbers. It will delete everything, and then in place of that it will just give a single space. So if you can see here. Okay, so I earlier the tickets have the some alphabets and the slash hyphen and these things are there. Now everything got deleted here. Okay, okay, so everything got deleted and only I can see the numbers. So only, so if you can see that five has come here, so only the numbers you can see here in it. Okay, so that is done. Now, in the same way, if you want to keep only the alphabets and remove everything else, so you can give in the same way you can give in the square brackets, you can give this this thing, this symbol, and then you write A to Z in capitals and A to Z in small alphabets, which means that keep everything which is either in small letters, it either is in lowercase or in uppercase, but delete everything else. Okay, so if you run that, so if you can see the where is the cabin column, so if you can see the cabin column has some value C85, C123, but I want to remove the numbers and I want to keep only the cabin name here. Okay, so if I run it, you can see here everything is deleted, only the uh, cabin maybe the cabin alphabet like C, B, and uh, and if there are anything else, it will be there, and everything else get deleted. If you want to keep only the numbers and alphabets, numbers and alphabet, and delete everything else, in that case, in the same way, you can give like A to Z, and 0 to 9. Okay, if you run it, you can see here everything else got deleted. Even the you see that space was there in that, so that space was also removed. This slash was also removed, so everything got removed, and you know and you can got removed, and you when you find that it's all combined into one, both alphabets and the numbers. So this is the way you basically clean your text. Any kind of text can be cleaned using this replace operator, only this replace operator here. So so let's see in another video uh, and see how. Okay, yeah. So I think that's all for this video. So let's talk to you in another video. Thank you.